Hello guys, and welcome back to another stock market update. So last week I talked about how the QQQ and the NASDAQ was setting up a textbook Elliot wave pattern. Right before the election we started our wave 1, came back for our 2, and we are currently in the melt up phase in wave 3. Last video I also mentioned how 320 was my target for the Qs. Last Sunday, we were down here when I said that, and we've progressed higher and higher since that video. We are well on our way to my target at 320. So most of last week was a steady climb up. Friday brought some volatility back into the market. And Friday was also a very, very interesting day. We kind of pulled back all day, and then the last 15 minutes we had some fundamental news come out that just sent the market in all sectors just flying up higher in regards to the banks and doing buybacks. What's the most interesting to me about this little run up here at the end of the day, and why this is different than some of the other run ups into the end of the day that we see, is that look at the volume. The volume in the last hour on multiple stocks and multiple sectors was just so much higher. Let me go to a let's go to a 90-day 1 hour chart. Look at the hourly volume here compared to all these days back here. I mean, the last time we saw just bullish volume like this was at the bottom of this turning point here right before the election. And let me get back down here. And then before that, it's back during these more volatile times. But that run up at the end of the day saw some insane bullish volume. And it also shows up on some individual stocks. Look at Amazon. This is either a glitch or this is something pretty significant. Look at this hourly volume. I mean, there's nothing that compares to it in the last 90 days for Amazon. I don't think Apple had the same thing. Of course, the banking stocks, JPM, huge. I mean, there's no volume that's anything close to this. BAC, Bank of America, I mean, just across the board, the volume in the last hour, unless this is some kind of glitch, was just really, really impressive. The last hour and going into the after hours on Friday. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out going into the start of this week. The Sunday night futures have already opened. The NASDAQ is up a little bit. The S&P's down slightly to flat. We don't have a big gap up now or anything, but we'll see how that plays out going into overnight and into pre-market tomorrow. I do think because of this volume, if we do get a breakout from this area, and we get a steeper climb in price, that when price does begin to break down, that this area back here could be a level of support that is going to be very important if price comes and pulls back to this area. I think it'll also be really big if we get some kind of gap up and that gap up doesn't fill and we just run higher, because a lot of people missed out on the chance to buy back down here because the news came out so close to the end of the day. So that could happen, or what could happen is we could see this price level be important in the near term. You could see us open somewhere here and then pull back down to these levels where people missed out on a chance to buy, and then that could be support and we head higher from there. So we will see how that plays out. In terms of individual stocks, let's look at Apple. Apple, like we've talked about before, has been broken out. Had a nice little run up this week, pulled back towards the end of the week for a lower high potentially, and then we'll see if it can continue higher from here. Amazon had a nice little interesting breakout. It broke out from this downtrend line. It came back on Friday and back tested this. And like I mentioned before, Amazon is a stock that reacted amazingly the last hour or so and into the aftermarket on Friday. Amazon pretty much retraced this whole drop it saw on Friday. So we'll see how this looks coming in to Monday. For the S&P, it looks like we are breaking out and holding over this large pitchfork I've talked about in the past. The drop on Friday held above this upper trend line that acted as prior resistance. So now it is acting as support. So going forward, we could get more of a breakout here. So we'll see what happens with that. All in all, this is going to be a very, very interesting week coming into Christmas. We want to see these levels hold. We want to see the low from Friday hold, first of all. Let me talk about levels on the QQQ. So for the QQQ, we want to see the low from Friday hold. That is the most important level. Price can pull back here overnight, but this has to hold down here. If that doesn't hold, then things will get interesting. And then if we do go higher from here, again, I'm targeting 320. So it's as simple as that. This has to hold 307.61, and I want to be a profit taker up at 320. Okay, so that is it for today. That's all I have for y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and have a great week trading and a Merry Christmas. Bye.